The month we're in, the month of October, is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, a time that we should recognize the devastating impact that domestic violence continues to have on individuals, families, and communities across our states and the nation. Though the issue of domestic violence often remains hidden behind closed doors, it's a reality that affects millions of Americans every year, both in communities large and small, urban and rural, and unfortunately, across my own home state of Kansas. While national headlines may briefly focus attention on this issue when a tragedy occurs or a public figure is involved, our commitment to ending abuse must remain constant after the news cycle moves on. The statistics regarding domestic violence are staggering. Domestic violence that occurs in between partners, girlfriends and boyfriends, husbands and wives, affects more than 12 million people every year. On a typical day, every 9 seconds, a woman is assaulted in the United States. In Kansas, law enforcement reports nearly 22,000 incidents of domestic violence annually. These aren't statistics from faraway places. They reflect our friends, neighbors, co-workers, and family members. We have a responsibility to bring hope to those who feel afraid to speak out. I want to recognize the Kansans who dedicate their lives to that mission, those who work and volunteer in shelters, crisis centers, advocacy organizations, and law enforcement across the country. Their compassion and courage makes a difference every single day. In Iola, Kansas, Hope Unlimited provides a lifeline for victims seeking safety and support, working hand in hand with local law enforcement and first responders. Hope Unlimited's advocates are trained volunteers, deliver services for victims of domestic violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking. Their coordinated response models ensures that survivors are met with care the moment they reach out. We know that when victims are turned away or forced to travel long distances for help, 90% return to their abuser, a reminder of why access to local support is critical. Across Kansas, similar organizations like Safe Home in Johnson County, Stepstone in Wichita, the Crisis Center, Inc. in Manhattan, are helping survivors rebuild their lives with dignity and safety. What happens in Washington, D.C. matters, but we change the world one person, in fact, one soul at a time. And in communities across Kansas and across America, that's exactly what's happening. The federal government plays a meaningful role in supporting these efforts through programs like Legal Assistance for Victims Grant. Kansans have access to legal representation that helps survivors navigate the justice system and reclaim their sense of safety and stability. The work is far from over. Domestic violence is more than a law enforcement or a policy issue. Each of us can and must play a role in ending it. This month and every month, let us recommit ourselves to breaking this cycle of abuse. Let's do our part to speak out against violence in all its forms and to stand with those who've been silenced for too long. Let's raise the awareness of this silence and devastating issue and bring hope to those who need it most. Mr. President, I yield the floor.